Hey guys, welcome to my channel. For today's video, I'm bringing to you two different recipes that you could use for a brunch. So let's get cooking.
So I'm using my Instapot to boil these eggs. I've got 6 eggs in here. You could do 6 to 12, I guess, depending on the size of your egg, how much you need, and the size of your Instapot. And a cup of water and the metal trivet. This trivet came with the Instapot. So I'm gonna do it on manual pressure for, it's 3 to 7 minutes. I'm gonna do about 5 minutes. I don't want them to be runny. I want to be able to cut them, but I don't need them to be too hard boiled because they're still going to be baked. I like doing boiled eggs this way because you can peel them really easy and you set it and forget it.
I've already peeled and sliced most of the eggs, but I just want to show you here quickly how easy it is to peel them. I didn't cool them in cool water or anything like that. I just let them cool off on their own, and like really easy to peel. And it's done. Big chunks are coming off, like super easy to peel, so I love doing them that way. I do use an egg slicer to slice them, but you don't have to. You'll need a kilogram of potatoes sliced, about 200 grams of sausage. So the sausage that I'm using is actually a smoked sausage that we smoke and cure and make ourselves. So it's like a recipe from the town where my husband and I are originally from, back in Europe. And it is like a smoked spicy sausage with paprika and caraway seeds. So if you're looking for something similar, I would say maybe a Hungarian sausage, if you can buy one, would be similar, but any kind of smoked sausage of your choice. Then a kilogram of potatoes, like I said, sliced, those 6 eggs, and then a cup of shredded cheese, some kefir or kefir, whatever, however you want to pronounce it. Now, I'm using 250 milliliters. You could use sour cream as well if you don't want to use this. This is just what I had on hand. You can also use cream cheese. I've used that before as well. And then about a cup of milk and a little bit of oil that I'm just going to put in to the potatoes, an additional 2 fresh eggs, some vegeta, some salt, and some garlic powder. So first what you're going to do is you're going to add a little bit of that oil into the potatoes, and it's just to cover them a little bit so they don't dry out too much. I would say maybe put about 3 tablespoons, not even, in there. Maybe 1 tablespoon, not quite 3. Let's say 2 in the middle. I just kind of eyeballed it, but not a lot of oil, just a bit to kind of slather them in it. Then you'll add your salt, your vegeta, and your garlic powder. You could add any seasonings that you want into here, and just do as salty as you want it to be. If you do find this ingredient, vegeta, like I said, you can get at Costco, and you can also get it at, well, Food Basics if you live around here, or Metro and Superstore, like any of the big grocery stores, at least here in Southern Ontario. And then it is salty, so just whenever you add the salt, make sure you don't add too much salt in it. And then you just want to kind of mix everything together so it's nicely mixed. And then you'll add then you'll just add it to the bowl, to the potatoes, and you're going to just mix them through. Now, if you want this to cook faster, you can boil the potatoes whole and don't get them quite to be done, kind of almost done but not quite. Just done, but hard enough so you can slice them. I used a simple slicer or a mandolin to slice them. You can slice them however you want. This just made sure that they were all the same thickness. For cooking, it's easier, but use whatever you want. And then if you cook them, the cooking time will be less because everything here is ready to eat other than the potatoes. Like, it's already cooked, so it's not like it's unsafe if it's not cooked long enough, except for the eggs, the fresh eggs. So just depending on how much time you have. I had enough time, so I wound up just putting it in the oven. And because I used a stone pan, it did take a little bit longer. This should take you about an hour if you do just a normal pan, like maybe an aluminum pan, 45 minutes to an hour. It took me about an hour and a half because it takes longer in the stone, and I did put a lot of potatoes in there. So you'll put a little bit of, and I mean, that's all there is to the prep work for this. So you're going to put a little bit of oil at the bottom of your pan and just kind of line these up. You don't have to be like, they don't have to look perfect, just enough that they're covering everywhere, not too many on top of each other. And then you just layer it like a casserole. So you put a layer of potatoes, a layer of eggs, and a layer of sausage. And then potatoes, eggs, and sausage. And you do that until you run out of potatoes. The potatoes are the last layer that you do on top. Once you've layered everything, then you're going to add the 2 eggs into one of your bowls, and you'll add the milk, which I think I forgot to mention, it's a 1/4 cup of milk, and a cup of the kefir and the 2 eggs, and you're just going to mix everything together, and you'll pour that mixture over top of the potatoes, and then you'll just layer cheese on top, and that is it. So once you've poured that over top and put the cheese on top, you're going to put it into an oven that you've preheated at 375 degrees. And you're going to cover it up. If you don't have a covered baker like this one, you can use aluminum foil to cover your pan. And you're going to bake it for about, like I said, 45 minutes to an hour. This one was about an hour and a half because it is a deep covered baker, and I did layer it. So if you had a bigger pan and your layers were thinner, then it would take less time to cook. So just keep an eye on it. All you have to do is worry about the potatoes being done. That's it. So here it is all finished. And I think this is a great brunch recipe because it's got your eggs, it's got your potatoes, it's got your sausage. I did move around the potatoes a little bit to make sure that they were done, so that's why it doesn't look like it's all completely uniform. And here it is plated, and you can serve it with anything you'd like. I've chosen to serve it with some cherry tomatoes and some canned peaches. I love mixing spicy and sweet together, so it tasted great for me. You can serve it with whatever you'd like. steamed veggies, whatever. Like I said, this was really easy to make. It does take a little bit of time, but a really quick and easy dinner with most of the things that you should have on hand. So this video is a part of an open collab hosted by the Domestic Diva Cooking. If you haven't been to Sonia's channel, make sure you check her out. She's got tons and tons of amazing recipes, and she also has another 3 channels. She's got Domestic Diva DIY, Domestic Diva Home, and Life with Dee Dee. So make sure you check out all of her channels if you can. There will be a playlist linked in my description below, as well as a link to Sonia's channel, so make sure you do check that out. So I'm actually just using this Betty Crocker carrot cake mix to make some carrot cake muffins, well, cupcakes. So I'm just following the directions on the box, and the only difference here that I'm doing is I'm using almond milk, which is the first time I've tried to do that, and I do think that it made the muffins a little bit too crumbly. I think that that's what the problem was. I'm not sure. I'll refer to them as muffins and cupcakes back and forth because that's what I do. But I'm just going to use that cake mix with 3 eggs, some oil, some almond milk instead of regular milk, and that's it. So you guys know how to read the directions on a box. I'll just speed this up real quick for you. I just wanted to show you the different ingredients that I did use. So after I prepared the batter, I am pouring them into this stone muffin pan, and I always just like to lightly oil it. You don't have to, but I always like to, and it's good that I did this time because they did crumble, so it was kind of hard to get them out. And I'm gonna bake them. I wanted baking them closer to 20 minutes. It says 14 to 19, but mine was probably about 20 minutes because, like I said, always with the stone, it takes just a little bit longer.
So here are the muffins baked now. It said to bake them 14 to 19 minutes. I baked mine for about 20. It's always a little bit more when you do the stone. So just keep that in mind. And then I just used this little tool that I have to check whether they were done. And now I have to wait for them. They're still warm to cool off so that I can put the frosting on them.
While the muffins were cooling off, I prepared the frosting, and I got the recipe off the Betty Crocker website. So for the frosting, you'll just need 3 cups of icing sugar and more if you want it sweeter, a cup of cream cheese, and half a cup of softened butter. And you're just going to mix all of these things together using a hand mixer until it is done. This did give me a little bit of extra frosting, so I wound up just saving it for something else. So because the muffins or cupcakes, whatever you want to call them, did fall apart a little bit, I was going to just kind of like nicely put the cream cheese just using a spatula on them. However, they were kind of crumbling in my hands as I was doing it, so I decided to I have this little cupcake injector tool and cake decorator, so I used that little thing to decorate them. It's just really simple, just little swirls, but like I said, they were really difficult to work with because they were falling apart. They're delicious, just difficult to work with. So this was just another quick recipe that you could do for a brunch. It's easy. It's not like a regular cupcakes because it's the cream cheese, and I feel like it's a good breakfast food. The carrot cake mixed with the cream cheese. They were delicious. We really liked them. Really easy to make, like I said. So hopefully you enjoyed both recipes. Make sure you check out the collab, check out Sonia's channel, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I also have another two channels. I have a DIY channel and a home channel, Vesna TV and Vesna TV Home. So make sure you check those out as well. Thank you so much. Have a great day and stay safe.